Hello everybody, I've been out and about again today, and I've been impulse buying again. So I put the drinks can in the pot there for scale. It didn't come with that. It wasn't one of those buy yourself a plant get a free can deals, but yeah, as you can see, it's a big old plant, and it is in fact another wisteria. Yeah, I kind of got excited about the bug of, or excited with the bug of having a wisteria bonsai. So I bought a small mo-flowered wisteria a couple of weeks ago now, and the video's linked down below. And then I saw this one, and this is Wisteria Longissima Alba. It's a Floribunda type, and apparently the flowers can be up to 24 inches long. 24 inches, I believe that's about 60 centimeters, if I'm right. It's about 60 centimeters. So yeah, it's a tall old plant. Let's see if we can't move in a little closer so you can see the trunk at the bottom. Yeah, I was quite taken with the size of this particular plant. Yeah, it's got a good old chunk of trunk there. It splits into two just here, and we have one piece that sort of leans away from you and goes off and does a bit of its own thing at the back here and crosses over, which I'm not particularly interested in. This piece here at the back, we move these leaves out of the way. I mean, it has some interesting movement at this point, but then it just goes up into a straight piece that just goes straight all the way up to here. Parts of it come back in and across this section, comes across and into this section, which I don't like. So I think I'm going to lose this particular chunk, and then train this piece up into a single stem. So I'm also not going to repot it at this point. It's nearly the end of the first week in June. I'd rather not risk it if I can help it. So yeah, first thing I want to do then, move the camera in a little bit closer, is get rid of this piece. So I've got a whole bunch of branches in a whorl here as well, which I don't really want, but for now we'll concentrate on removing this large piece that I think it's just basically in my way of the design for this tree. So out comes the pruning saw. It's a bit too big and chunky, sort of covered in ants, a bit too big and chunky for removing it with the cutters. So we'll lose that bit. It's going to leave an interesting scar just there, so I might have to clean that up a bit more. Let me just see if I can't cut that piece of string and then remove that entire section. It's just going to be in the way. Okay, so yeah, quite a big old chunk. I might just stick that in some soil somewhere and see if it'll root as a hard cutting. I doubt it very much this time of year. But as they say, nothing ventured, nothing gained. Okay, so yeah, that's a fairly unsightly scar there, so I'm just going to see if we can nibble that back some. Am I talking inverse taper or reverse taper? Either way, that looks better, I believe. I'm going to remove, we have three branches here, so I don't actually know where the front of my tree is yet. Let me bring this round. Maybe getting a bit ahead of myself. It would be nice to have the scar at the back. Okay, so yeah, let's move the Coke can. So that gives me a much smoother bit of taper and some interesting movement from the tree up to this point. Sorry, up to this point. So we have some ugly looking snarly bits at the top here. To kind of twist around one another. So I'm thinking I'm going to lose that at this point. This will then be the leader, and hopefully it'll pop some more side branches as we go. Does that make sense, what I'm saying? I hope it does. Okay, let me just turn the camera off and we'll do some repositioning. Okay, I'm still not going to repot this tree, but I have knocked it out of its pot for now. And just quickly before I forget, Margaret, if you're watching, I cleaned the tabletop down, especially for you. Anyway, yeah, why have I done that? Well, I'm going to try and scrape away some of the soil off the top here to expose a bit of Nebari. I'll then put that back into the bottom of the pot, lift the tree back up, and hopefully I can do that without disturbing too much of the roots, and see how the Nebari is looking, if indeed there is one. There's a suspicious undercutting just there, but we shall see. Okay, so here we go. I'm just going to scrape some of this top layer off. Not anything terribly aggressive. Just want to raise the tree up a little in the pot, see if there are any visible surface roots. Well, there are roots on the surface, but they're not particularly striking surface roots. But at least this undercutting here doesn't seem to be quite as bad as I first feared. It's quite heavy. To remind myself then not to get too carried away, I'm not repotting, I'm just looking for, I have a root here that's wrapped itself around, and I don't really want that, it's not desirable. So I may just have to give it a bit of a snip if I can. Oh no, I've loosened it, so that's alright. It does seem, and I apologise if the leaves are getting in your way again, there does seem to be a bit of a flare in the trunk below the soil. which is nice. That's what I was hoping for. Nothing screaming will make great surface roots, but apart from that one. Right, that's better. I was actually sat on them, would you believe? Okay, I'm going to remove this, or at least cut it back. Even then it's not going to help with vision any. But this piece here I'm going to remove entirely, because it's just kind of sticking out from where I consider the front to be. I may need to tidy up that scar a little more. Although these two branches, they are coming out at very similar heights, I think I'm going to leave them for now, because I don't think they're going to stay long term anyway. But they will continue to feed the tree, and I can let them grow and the trunk can fatten up a little more. I'm actually quite liking this line here. It kind of gives it a little bit of a kink, and then as we go up the trunk, this is going to be the new apex, so I'm going to lose all this at the back here. And so yeah, this will be the new apex, so this will be lost. So let me reposition the camera again. Okay, so you're still looking at it as if from the front, and then it's going to kind of veer off here to the right. And I'm thinking that this bud here might be my terminal apex, although I don't think I'm going to cut it back to there now. I'm going to remove some of this at the back here. That's kind of twining around each other, as they will, but it's not attractive and it's not really doing anything for me. So I'm just going to lose one of them for the time being, and I think it's going to be I don't like this sharp elbow here, so I'm going to see if I can take this in one from here. There she blows. Okay. So intertwined as a creeper will. There we go. There's another piece. So again, this could be a top. Although the whole thing kind of leans away from you then. I'm not sure. I'm going to hard prune it back to here. And where I have two pieces here, I'm going to cut it back to one node just there. And I'm going to shorten that one back to there. Okay, so that's denuded the plant somewhat from where we started, but I do like it. Let me see if I can't move the camera back without making you too seasick, so you can see it a bit better, in a bit more of all of its glory. Okay, so yeah, and it's got a lot of movement. I'm thinking of keeping it at that height, which is about 3.5, 4 foot. Of course, if the flowers are 2 foot long, you need the branches to be a reasonable height in order to allow for that dangle, the angle of dangle. That makes sense. I hope so. There are things about this tree I'm not entirely happy about. The branches at the bottom, for example, sort of just there. But I'm going to leave them on for now because I've taken off quite a lot of the foliage, and also, although it's got a nice bit of movement, it's got no taper. That whole middle section. So I'm hoping that maybe I'll get some more growth lower down, and I can, maybe cut it shorter again next year and get some more taper into it. But anyway, that's about it for this tree. I'm going to put it back into its pot, keep it well watered. It'll get another prune in the end of August. I think that's the right time for pruning them, and we'll visit it then. And after that, next time you see it, hopefully will be sort of April, May time of next year, when it'll be in flower. Okay, so that's it for today. So thank you all for watching, and as always, thank you, Pheasant. As always, take care of yourselves.